So I know a lot of people that want to start their own niche site, but here's the truth. A lot of niche sites end up failing. When you try to start a niche site and you have no real strategy in place, then you end up wasting a lot of time without seeing any results. But you can increase your chances of success if you know which mistakes to avoid. Because when you actually have a strategy in place and you know which common mistakes to avoid, you can get your niche site up to 4 figures per month or more. In this video, I'm going to share 5 common niche site mistakes to avoid so you can give yourself the best chance of having success with your site. Before we begin, a quick heads up, my premium training program, Niche Site Academy, opens back up on May 23rd for 5 days only. This is the niche site course that's only open twice per year. It teaches you how to start, grow, and scale your niche site from scratch. I'm going to leave a link to the waitlist below so you can get notified when the doors open up. All right, mistake number 1, your niche is too broad. Probably the most underrated part of doing SEO, which is how we grow these niche sites, is having topical authority. Okay, this is when Google sees you as an expert in your niche. And the quickest and best way to get that topical authority is to focus in on a somewhat narrow niche. Now, a mistake that I see a lot of niche site makers make is that they're going way too broad with their niche. Now, the best way to think about this is an example. So let's think about the pet niche. Okay, so pets overall is a very, very broad niche. And if you were to start a niche site about pets all by yourself, chances are you would not have a lot of success, and because it's very broad. And now we can kind of narrow that niche down along the line. So maybe not pets, we could go down one level to dogs. Okay, so that's definitely more niche, but still very broad when you think about all the different dog breeds out there. And then we could go one level down from that, and that could be labs. Okay, so one type of dog. Now there's many different labs, of course, but now we're kind of in that good zone where we're not as niche as pets, and we've niched down a little bit to labs. And you could even go potentially one level down to that, and that is yellow labs, okay? Focusing on a specific type of lab. Now, of course, the benefit of doing a niche site about yellow labs is it's easier and faster for you to establish that topical authority. The potential downside of going that niche with yellow labs is maybe there's not a big enough audience out there to really sustain a high level of traffic for that niche. So we need to think about going in between pets and yellow labs, right? I haven't done the research on this specifically. It's just an example. If I had to guess, I'd probably say labs is the best niche there, but it's just something that I want you to think about when you're choosing your niche. How much can you go down, right? Because if you choose a very, very broad niche, it's going to take a really long time to see success. All right, mistake number 2 is that your niche is too competitive. Now, I see this mistake of people entering these competitive niches when they hear advice to, well, you need to write about your passions, okay? And some people have passions about personal finance or health or parenting. And again, the problem with that is that advice is that those niches are extremely competitive. The way that we get traffic to our site with niche sites are primarily through SEO. And SEO is a competition, right? For every search that gets entered into Google, at most, there's 10 sites ranking, and they're ranked in order. So we're going up against other websites for every search term. So we need to think about the competition. Who else is out there? What other websites would I be competing with? Okay, we want to target niches that have low to, I would say, even moderate search competition. But if you go after a niche like health or personal finance, you're just not going to have any success because it's too competitive. And this also goes back to where niching down can help. Again, in that pets example, right, you're going to be going up against sites like the Spruce Pets, who was an enormous pet site. But if we niche down to, say, yellow labs, right, it's a lot less competitive because there are fewer sites that are focused only on yellow labs. So niching down in competition definitely goes hand in hand. All right, mistake number 3 is that you give up on your site too early. So the truth is, building a niche site to, let's say, 4 figures per month is not a short-term play. It's going to take on average, I would say at least 12 months. So if you're only 3 months into your site and you're wondering, why am I not getting any traffic? This isn't worth it. Then the niche site game, frankly, is probably not for you. I like to give the kind of analogy of starting a niche site is kind of the same as starting a YouTube channel, right? You're not going to get 100,000 subscribers in 3 months. It's going to take consistent effort over time. I have a separate video about how long does it take to make money with a niche site, which I can link to above. But again, generally, I tell my students, I tell myself when I'm starting a new site, give it at least 12 months of consistently publishing content. You should see small steps of progress along the way, but that real traffic and that real income, in my experience, comes after that 12-month mark. So don't give up on your site too early because you're only 3 months in and you're not seeing success. Niche sites are a long-term business play. All right, mistake number 4 is you're not publishing enough content. These days, especially, niche sites are a content volume play. And what I mean by that is that you need a decent amount of articles on your site to get traffic and get income. Part of that is because of monetization. It used to be easier to monetize with affiliate marketing, which paid out much better. Google's kind of cracked down on those product-specific articles. And so I'm moving more towards targeting those informational articles that we can monetize with an AdThrive or a Mediavine, which is still a great monetization play. The thing about that is we need more traffic to make up for that kind of loss of affiliate income. And the way that we make up for that is just more content. I would say, listen, every niche is different, but 200 articles is probably the minimum or close to the minimum in terms of completing your site with the amount of content, right? So if you're serious about starting a niche site, again, you need to have a long-term view, but you also have to realize that you're going to consistently be publishing content as well. And there's really 2 ways that you can do this. I've seen people just write every article themselves. They do it before work in the morning and then after work at night, and they try to publish, an article per day roughly. And if you do that over 12 to 18 months, you can get to that 200 article per month all by yourself, and you're not spending any money on content, right? You're spending time, but you're not spending money. The other way to do it is to invest in content, right? You hire a freelance writer to help you write articles, or maybe you use a content agency to deliver you articles every month, which is what I'm doing with a few of my new sites. Now, in that scenario, I'm saving time, but I'm spending money, right? So you have to think about, do you have more time than money, or do you have more money than time? But either way, we need to get content out on a consistent basis. 15 to 20 articles per month would be amazing. Again, you can do it yourself, you can have someone help you, or you can do a mix of that as well. All right, mistake number 5 is not treating it like a business. So niche sites are a real business. I've taken 4 sites to over $10,000 per month. I know plenty of people doing over $5,000 per month with very little monthly expenses. So it can be a serious business if you treat it like a business. Now, what does that mean? That means having a long-term view, right? Not giving up after 3 months. That means consistently publishing content on your site, because content is how we make money with a niche site. So you need to focus on your content. It could be investing in tools like SEMrush or Ahrefs, right? Having a monthly Ahrefs subscription. That's what serious niche site owners do. I have people, even in my communities, who get a little nervous when I'm saying, yeah, you're going to have to use Ahrefs for at least a month if you want to be serious about your site. It could mean investing in a theme, right? Maybe $50 on a Mediavine theme. It's probably more than that. Or GeneratePress, right? To have a professional looking site. It could mean investing in a few paid plugins to optimize your site. Okay. So the more you treat your site like a business, to me, equals how serious you are, right? That doesn't mean we're spending thousands of dollars every month or anything like that, but you need to change your mindset where you're trying to save a penny or a dollar every month and think about how you can invest in your site in order to grow it. Okay. So again, getting your niche site to $5,000 per month or more is definitely possible if you treat it like a business. All right, guys, if you enjoyed that video, do me a favor, give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments below what has been your biggest mistake when starting either a blog or a niche site. Thanks.